What's up, everybody? This is Ripples in Wales, back for another video. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. So today we're going to have a little look at a gentleman called Dr. Jim Willie. Now this gentleman came into my world like a lightning rod. There are a few people that really can move the needle for me in the XRP space and Ripple space and the BRICS space, with knowledge that really expands my horizons right now. There have been a few people that have really shifted my consciousness in this space, like Quincy Jones. That young man came into the space and it was like, wow, expansive. You know, truth, expansive, conscious, and you just feel like that the walls shift in your reality of knowledge, if that makes any sense to you all. Jim Willie, I heard him referenced by an amazing YouTube channel called the Working Money Channel, who's very, very well known in the XRP space. Really cool guy, speak to him a lot. He has covered his work a lot, and anyway, I kind of fell into this little track of having a little bit of a research around him, because you've got to follow your intuition with these things. A lot of dot connecting isn't done through logic, it's done through intuition. And the most of my great breakthroughs don't come through me sitting down with a pencil and paper. They come with just following my intuitive impulses. Now this guy was the guy that hit me like a lightning rod, and the stuff he said had married up to all my data set in my head. Now there's a big pool of data in my head to do with this topic, and I've been researching the BRICS area quite a lot, as you all know, lately, and really having to break new ground and understanding the G20, the BRICS, the World Bank, the IMF, New Development Bank, and how all these massive pieces of the chess puzzle interlink, and then trying to reverse engineer it to see where does it sit in our new world of finance. And this guy seemed to bridge the knowledge. Anyway, he is a very interesting chap. Anyway, the first bit of information I've got, I'm going to go through a ream of bits of information regarding him that I found, snippets of videos that we're going to go through, and they may not all be in an order, but let's just listen to them together first of all, because what he has to say is bloody powerful. Anyhow, before we get started, please like the video, subscribe, drop a comment. I'd be very interested to hear what people say about Jim Willie in the comments, very much so. Have you heard about him before? Is this the first time you've come across his information? If you find other information regarding him, send him to me, tag me in it. I'd be very interested to know. Channel's growing really well. This is my Twitter page, as you can see, Ripples in Wales. Drop a comment. I'm pretty active around here. Anyway, on to the first little clip of Jim Willie. And this is the first clip that I found with him tying Christine Lagarde and the IMF to the ECB, which is a very well-known thing that Bearable Guy talks about. It just doesn't talk about XRP in this first bit, but he certainly talks about Lagarde.
For you, of all the different cabal major global bank accounts, the only one left that's not sacked is the IMF. All the others are gone.
That's
Vatican,
interesting.
the World Bank. How about Credit Suisse?
Now, think about that for a minute. Hold on. Now, Lagarde. Wait, where is it?
I think Draghi became the Prime Minister of Italy shortly after that. Yeah, and Lagarde, whether Lagarde is a man or woman, I don't know and I don't care. Lagarde is the bridge between the Euro Central Bank and the IMF now.
Now, listen to that.
Here's the singer for you. Of all the...
Lagarde is the bridge between the IMF and the ECB. Now, who told you that? BG123. There is no one that has knowledge quite like this chap here. I haven't heard anyone cover topics like he has, and he doesn't give a rat's about anything. He'll say what he thinks. He comes very close to the line. So that's the first thing that caught my attention. Now, he said all the other institutions have been dismissed. The World Bank, the Vatican. Now, who told you all that? Ross Vandermeer. In all of his pictures, he showed you in the very early pictures that we talked about. I could probably pull one up if I've got it handy. Oh, better get rid of all that. It's me buying NFTs this morning. Right, I don't know what I've got on my homepage. I better be mindful. But anyway, hold on. So, Riddler's Research, Ross Vandermeer. Right, do you remember that picture that we used to go over quite a lot? I'm trying to find a full one that Jeannie went through very, very well, and left us. It wasn't that first one. It was this one. Now, this is the first bit of information that we ever had that linked the Vatican, the Rothschilds banking cartel, and the British monarchy into the old monetary system that was embezzling gold and locking up the future in sort of an Illuminati state. And, you know, this would be the kind of the old guard, and on the left we have the new guard, which is BRICS, including America. Remember that. I've said this before. And in the middle, what we have, the ECB. Now, he just said Lagarde is the bridge between the IMF and the ECB. Now, Lagarde is the owl who talks about that, BG123. So, you know, the idea that BG also is a Ripple employee is kind of really sometimes a little bit of a low shot. Whoever BG is, he knows world events way better than the person at Ripple. He's plugged into some sort of real deep intel. Anyway, let's move on. Let's carry on.
Okay, XRP is going to lead the day. XRP does not have a well-defined destination. I'm still learning about XRP. I'm still learning about the deals that are being struck. I think the big bankers signed on to something where they lied to themselves a little bit.
And he hates bankers.
And they're not going to have the power that they thought. They're not going to have the ability to defraud. They're going to want to do this, you know, in an opaque fashion without a blockchain, so they can, you know, double sell the bonds like they always do.
That's
it's
the
not
thing.
going to work.
That's the thing with decentralized cryptocurrencies. It's like the Gutenberg press. Once it's out, and humans have innovation and ways to work together. And now they're seeing, especially here last month in Canada, with the overreach and the power grab,
the shackles are off.
Where
that's
the
what he's saying.
Was seizing your bank accounts if you don't agree with their politics. So that's waking up quite a few people, and the more we get into these egregious overreaches by government, people can use decentralized cryptocurrencies to get out from underneath that tyranny. That's what we're about to see, I think. But let me ask you,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm just curious here, because this is a trial balloon they're putting out. How does that fit maybe in your timeline of events? We've talked about the German Petrobund, or Russian Petrobund here coming up, and the difficulty that the US and the allies might face with the arbitrage.
I think that's the first video complete. Let's go on to this. I think we're doing things in reverse order here, actually. Maybe I should start with the first one. Okay, a bit late, but then we're going to go with it.
Talking about in these old data sets that we would be entering this period of time where a lot of the altcoins would die. He specifically pointed out XRP in this video and said that basically the only client of XRP is the central banking model as maybe an alternative to SWIFT. And if the central bank model dies, which is a prediction here on the board with everything that's happening now, perhaps so too does XRP. How do you see XRP maybe coming out of troubled water in the next couple of months with the SEC lawsuit? Or is there a play to be made here where the governments are going to legislate around the CBDCs, which could pump up XRP, until such time as those are rejected by the population? Jim Sinclair was saying that there would be 3 resets offered to the population, all of them rejected, until we eventually got into this sound money, organic economy for humans. What are your thoughts on XRP? How does that trade?
Okay, I think it's a very thin and weak argument to say that if XRP is largely owned by the bankers, therefore it's corrupt. How do you have a bridge created from the old to the new without a connection to the old?
Boom.
That's a good point.
He gets it.
Therefore, you've got to have some handshakes. You've got to have some bridge on-ramps from the old system onto the bridge. Now, where we go is a little bit unclear, undefined, and murky. I believe the central bankers are going to be up against the wall with some very difficult decisions.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to face the prospect of having a central bank digital currency, a CBDC, that violates the transparency requirement and violates the decentralized requirement.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want. They want to violate those 2 requirements to continue their merry way with illicit systems.
Right, we move on to the final clip.
A block of owners of XRP. Maybe it's because of the news blackout that last October 1st, the SEC dropped its case against Ripple. and it's not been in the news. We've got 7 months, 6 months, where the XRP Ripple lawsuit had been dropped, and it's not in the news, so that the bankers can continue to buy.
Interesting.
I look as the single biggest element in my refuting argument that the bankers, the news, big tech are all blocking the news item of the dropped lawsuit. That is proof positive that XRP is legitimate for a future investment. They do not want the little people to own it.
I wouldn't doubt that for a second, given the ability and the reach of the censorship machine.
Who told you that? BT.
The central bankers and the big banks maintain a delusion that they're going to control the other side because they have for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Okay.
XRP.
Pause that there. Right, on to the next clip. Now, I don't think this one's relevant. I'm going to maybe leave that to last, but we're going to jump into these, and I hopefully I've nailed the timelines good on this.
That's the big one, XRP. You and Ron Pertain tell me the same thing.
I think they're going to get a buyout for $500, and we're going to know a lot of millionaires.
Really? So what do you think? Yeah, I mean, so
Ron. Ron might have $100 million before long. He's going to find out.
When do you think this is going to happen with XRP?
I think it could happen within a year.
Wow. So keep investing in XRP. So what is it at now? And what
when was this posted?
Shooting up to?
I don't know exactly. I heard recently it jumped up over 30, 35 cents. But it was 80 and 90 cents a year ago.
So it's 30. Let's just say 30, 35 cents. What do you see it jumping up to?
Oh, I don't think the market's going to push it up. I think there's going to be a preemptive buyout for at least 200.
Wow. Interesting.
We're going to know a lot of millionaires. And you know, it's
I've invested in XRP.
Well, I hope you got a bunch. I hope you got a shitload because you're going to be a very wealthy man.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. Remember me when you're very wealthy.
Why aren't you buying into it?
Because I'm broke.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm putting a little bit in every now and then.
I've got several $100,000 in losses from demonic events.
Well, we'll leave that there. But the point is, he sees it like a big move in the price structure. Now, I don't know if I want to subscribe to that, but he knows an incredible amount about the BRICS nation stuff, more than I've ever heard anyone talk about or be willing to talk about. So, I mean, we're going backwards in the kind of the run here of information for you all a little bit. But the point is, I don't think I've ever found anyone who's covered information as close to the edge, we'll put it like that. He's going into kind of Ross Vandermeer BG stuff with his face wide open to the world. Do you see where I'm going with this? He knows some incredible inside stuff. I don't know how he knows it. He's been a data analyst for 20 odd years. He's a doctor of statistics. He's worth his weight. He knows his stuff. And I've dealt with characters like this in my work career who are very, how can I put this? They're the real deal. You can sniff them out. They have an incredible knowledge base on things, and they speak very eloquently about it. He's not a blabber. He's the real deal. Right, let's see the next clip that I pulled up. Have you just crashed on me? No, okay, here we go. Right, I don't know if this should be on the right pace, but we'll go.
I was talking with an XRP expert a few days ago.
Bloody volume.
And he told me something that I had not heard before. It's a framing of the situation, the crisis, and the solution. He said the U.S. economy is going to have a big problem that our Treasury bill is not accepted at the ports for all the shipments, all the deliveries. And he believes the solution is going to come with XRP. Mm-hmm. And the expansion will come because they will need more coins at a higher value, both. More coins and a higher value, both, in order to handle the volume. And it'll catch on. And China might ask the European countries Do you wish to pay in XRP? Oh my gosh! So, there are other avenues leading to the XRP highway. And I don't comprehend some of the arguments, don't want to mention names. And as for patents, if XRP has to cut some deals and sign some contracts and acquire licenses and give back a portion, a small proportion in royalty, they will do so. They will do so. If XRP, the only way it can get above $100 is to give back 15% to the IP holders of the digital highway, then they'll do it.
The IP holders of the digital highway. Now, I can infer what I believe he's talking about there, and that is the gatekeepers. Now, which scene in the Ripple Riddler did we see a token handed into in the hand of an old banker? A gratuity, a nod, a giving, a toll fee. It was Declaration of Independence. Now, what he's saying is they're going to have to give away a share of the slice of the pie in order to get that balloon untethered. Yeah? Same words, different scene.
And that's how they'll expand. They'll need to multiply their volume in coins and expand the price. And I love bringing this up because the guy has such a good track record. Homer Simpson.
Okay.
Unbelievable. How many times did he tell us about 9/11? 10 years, 8 years, 5 years, 3 years. How many times did he tell us? Now, I think it was about a year ago, he said $540 XRP.
No, I didn't see that. So
this is where I think it's going to go. I think it's going to have a long stop at 100 to 150, maybe 130, 120. It's going to have a long stop there. I don't have the ability, with a looking glass, I don't have the ability to tell how long. I'm guessing that the event that will dictate how long will be to get all of its licenses properly aligned, to get all the different countries and their central banks aligned, and it'll just wait at 100 to 120 for maybe 6, 8, 10, 12, 18 months, I don't know. And the bankers will try to buy it from you and tell you, an XRP holder, that you better sell it to them because pretty soon it'll be going worthless. And here's what you have to tell them.
We'll leave it at that. But I love him. I love his authenticity. I love his ballsiness. I love his truth. This guy's a conscious soul. We all should look after him. He's on the bones of his backside at the minute. He's broke. So all of you listening to this, I'm going to show you a link later on. When you all make your fortunes or your monies in XRP, don't forget about him. Send him a little love. I certainly will. Right, moving on to the next clip of him. This guy's willing to put his neck on the line. Anyway, next clip, Working Money Channel.
Went after Ripple to hamstring them, to tie their hands behind their back, to freeze their progress. I thought, well, there's a winner. Just like Reggie Middleton, they froze him. They didn't make any progress at all in the 16 months when they froze Reggie Middleton. He continued in development. The only information technology software, I shouldn't say that, the only digital finance software development that Wall Street is expert in is fraud. For derivatives, round-robin bidding, for algorithm trading, for insider New York Fed trading. Wall Street is expert at software for fraud. They're not expert for software development on the new digital highway infrastructure. On-ramp, off-ramp, trading window, they're not expert at any of that. They don't know jack shit about that. In fact, a year ago, Wall Street started advertising advertising open source fairs. Come join open source. And it was fraud. Again, fraud. That's all they know. It's fraud.
Jim Willie loves to get a little animated here. So, starting
such
a
a legend.
conversation with XRP, and I'm going to fast forward a little bit here in this clip to show you guys the rest of it. But ultimately, saying the SEC putting Ripple through the ringer.
Ripple cannot be corralled. Ripple is about to move its headquarters out of the United States. Ripple has already cut deals with a couple of different BRICS mate.
Now, what did we show you with the ship scene for next April? He just said Ripple's about to move its headquarters out of the United States. Where do you think they're going? Which direction is the ship sailing in? It's sailing west. Where is it sailing from? United States. Where is it headed to? London. That's my guess.
Nations. By that I mean Russia, China, Iran. Those three countries are going to run the BRICS. They should really do something about Brazil and fix that. I'd love to see Russia-Chinese influence to fix that, but probably not going to happen anytime soon. Russia announced that in view of the SWIFT obstruction, they were going to temporarily use XRP. They're going to use it with all their former Soviet republics, probably on a creeping basis, Eastern Europe, probably on a certain basis with China and the Pacific Rim, but maybe mostly the yuan. Look for the yuan to have a handoff to the Chinese gold-backed digital currency. Look for Russia to use XRP and the UAE dirham as caretaker, temporary payment systems. And I believe, and this is the opinion of a really smart digital colleague of mine, the Russians are going to use XRP to drive up the gold price and put a hot poker up the Anglo-American banker's arse. That's why
Wow, hold on. Piss off with your adverts, Jesus. This guy's doing my head in, he's on every bloody advert. Right, hold on, we'll go back to the video now. Once it lets me skip, clever. Get on, you buggers.
That's why I think XRP is going to go up. The Russians are backing it. There's a big boycott against the dollar. There's going to be alternatives. Okay, this is going to sound a little outrageous and ironic, but I'm just going to say it. What we might find is that the Asian exporters who take their goods to ship them to Long Beach and other West Coast ports, they might demand XRP. During all the different battles and arguments and conflict over whose CBDC will rule, I think XRP is going to run through with a chariot and get a lot of the global trade. And the Americans might have to pay XRP to get their Samsung televisions and their Hondas and their Toyotas and their Hitachi computers. How are we going to pay for that? They're not going to take our Fed coin, and we won't want to use the Chinese CBDC. I think the compromise is going to be XRP, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be hilarious.
Right, just pause there for the minute. It's really, really interesting points. He's talking about XRP for global trade here, which is its use. It's not for everyday purchases. It's not for your bloody cans of Coke at the supermarket. It's for wholesale institutional use. And where the issues lie at the minute is between the BRICS nations and the West. And he's saying for importation systems, between countries that have got friction, they're going to have to agree on a common ground currency. It's a really interesting perspective, and it's one that's not being talked about. But, the general bullshit chat on the XRP community is at this surface level of, cross-border payments. But it's institutional and international trade, cross-border trade that it's used for. I don't think people understand cross-border. It's international money, okay? And when you've got these, issues with Russia and all these other nations, anyway, they need a solution, okay? And what is the national symbol of Russia? It's a bear. BG123 has told you this, has shown you this numerous times. Why the colours? Why the colours on a jester hat? White, red and blue. What is it? It's the Russian flag colours. The bear is the national symbol for Russia. Ross Vandermeer has shown you this hundreds of times, that Russia's moving up in the world. Bearable guy is connotation to a Russian bear. the Russian economy. Where is the attention at the minute? Russia. Because of the conflict in Ukraine. There's so much to talk about that. One more shot before we go, I think. And then we're going to close off. There's actually two videos, but I think... Is that the better one, or is that the better one? I think we'll go with that one. I'm not sure what video this is.
The banksters sued Ripple in order to hold them back, buy time in order to develop their own Ripple/XRP knockoff. But they failed. So Jim Willie, guys, for those of you who do not know, he's a statistical analyst in market research and retail forecasting. He holds a PhD in statistics.
He's a real deal.
His career has stretched over 22 years. And he's a bit of a character, I gotta say. I've heard him speak before. His website is goldenjackass.com. But he is very knowledgeable. And so I thought I'd bring you guys this clip. Listen to what Jim Willie has to say. And mind you, this was from February earlier this year. Listen to this.
And there was another frivolous lawsuit of Ripple Labs by the U.S. government. It's, David, just to slow them down.
They're just kicking the can down the road. They're just slowing the pace.
Because the banksters are not ready. And I'm going to make a bold comment, and it's just in my own vernacular.
Oh, God.
The banksters are good at fraud and murder. They're not good at software engineering.
Yeah.
Okay, there are lots of precedents, like Neil Keenan was murdered and replaced.
Okay, we'll slip
To
that.
buy time, not so much to hold them back as to, well, it's two motives. One, to hold back the development of the Ripple Labs, but it didn't work because they're still working. And the
Oh, Jesus God, adverts, man. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about this. We're going to go again. Last bit now.
And the other is to buy time in order for the banksters to develop something in a similar manner with the intellectual property so that they can match Ripple and say, we've got our own Ripple, we don't need your Ripple, but they failed. And now they're saying, we need your Ripple. We're going to make a deal with you. We're going to have a timetable. We're going to have a schedule. It's going to be 18 to 24 months. We've got a span of time, and it is our accord. It's proof that the banksters failed in developing a similar system to XRP, and the same thing happened with Reggie Middleton. They failed in developing the building blocks for the digital financial structures that include banks and bond markets and stock markets.
Okay, we're going to call it there. This guy, his website is here, goldenjackass.com. And I think someone will have to qualify this, but I think this is his Twitter handle, at Dr. Jim Willie. I'm not certain that the YouTube channel links to a dead link. It's been disconnected on YouTube for violation of whatever he's said. But I think this is Twitter. Maybe someone else can plug me into that. Guys, appreciate all the new subscribers. We're getting, we're over 1,000 subscribers in now, and I've not had a huge amount of time to roll a load of videos out, but please like and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. It'd be really good to hear from you. And on the XRP markets, we've seen a bit of a pullback today. Bitcoin's doing this kind of testing, liquidating, shorting, longing. It's all going on in the charts at the minute. Very weird time. XRP's down at 37 pence. I don't know what that is in your numbers. I think it's about 42 cents. Is it 45 cents? I don't know. You have to remind me. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. We're about almost 27 minutes in. This is my Twitter handle. Come say hi. Anyway, I hope that's good about Jim Willie. I hope to see you on the next video. Have a blessed day.